Welcome back. This is Tanisha Greff, and we're excited to present our second edition of Loboe News Nation.
And I'm Karyssa Rasmussen. We're here to recap a very special event from last fall, the first state championship in 30 years.
This championship team has many connections with the team from 30 years ago.
Bringing you more on this story is Matthew Christensen and Colton Ness.
The Lobo's first time winning the state football championship was in 1991. 30 years later, the Lobos won it again. Here's some players from the team to tell you about what football means to them.
How did it feel to win the state championship in football?
It felt pretty good. We've been working toward it all year, so all those early mornings, late nights, they just all incorporate into that.
What did you guys do to be successful throughout the season?
It all started with 2 days in August. Everybody coming in every single day, working hard, trying to get better, hitting the lift 2 or 3 times a week. Coaches helped with that by making practice fun every day, keeping the intensity there, and ultimately that helped us win our state championship.
Knowing you led the team in interceptions this year, what was all the work you put in throughout the years to become the player you are?
It just started when I was young, just playing football, whole childhood, recess, whatever. Just developing those skills from a young age. Down here now.
What all went into this winning season?
Well, we just started off the season with our 2-a-day practices, like the first week and a half of the season or so, and 6 a.m., 6 p.m., just a couple hour practices to get us better in shape and just work as a team. And we'd lift during the week, during the season, and that would just maintain our strength and get us stronger in the year, and that just helps, just carry the momentum of ourselves just to go further in the season.
What was all the hard work put into the season?
Well, there's a lot of hard work. I think starting back into the summer and going to camp and trying to get a feel for where we were going to be this year. We were a new team, and we had some new positions that we had to fill, and then that led into fall camp when we started our 2-a-day practices, and 6 a.m. is pretty early, and 6 p.m. is late, and there's a lot of a grind that starts to go on, and I think how we built ourselves upon that start, and then going through throughout the entire season, we knew that every week was going to be a challenge, and I think more of a challenge for ourselves to improve and get better.
Did you think this team would get to the stage it got to?
Yeah, I think we proved that we were capable the year before. Looking back at last year, I knew though this team that we still had to improve coming into the season. Definitely the potential was there, and I think if we could improve week in and week out, that we would be able to get to the stage that we were on and eventually win the entire state title.
This is Colton Ness,
Matthew Christensen,
signing off for now.
Back here at Studio 76 with Kaylee Tanyan and my co-anchor Mariah Manthe. Even though it's been 30 years, this championship was certainly special with many great moments.
Kaylee, were you able to capture some of those moments on your cell phone?
What was that, Mariah?
Cell phones can be very distracting, especially during the school day, but Sam Birch and Kinsey Pedersen also explore both sides of the cell phone debate.
Do students have a problem with using their cell phones as a distraction in school?
I think at times it can be a distraction for some of the kids, but usually the teacher helps to manage that. But cell phones are a distraction for just about anybody, so I think our students can be distracted by them, yeah. I know that there are some local schools that don't allow any cell phones at all at any time during the day. Some can have them in the building, some don't even let them bring them in the building, or if they do, they definitely don't let anybody see them. And there are others that are similar to us that they try to manage it within the classroom and utilize cell phones sometimes as an educational tool.
At the beginning of the class, we have this almost jail cell type thing, and we put it in there and nobody can be on it, and then I feel like we bond more without our phones.
How often do you use your cell phone in class, and what for?
Kind of at least 15 minutes in some classes. depending if we have free time or not. Games, Snapchat, I guess. That's about it.
Do you think cell phone breaks are necessary?
Yes and no. I mean, I think that like just taking a break from like classes are necessary in general because they get a little long, but it depends on the teacher, I guess.
Have there been any complaints from students or parents about cell phones?
Well, I've had some parents say just take the cell phone away. I think sometimes because maybe that's what they would like for their student is to just not have them. But I do think that cell phones are here. They're not going away, obviously. So teaching kids to be responsible with them and manage them themselves is probably the biggest thing. And students definitely don't want them taken away. But some parents would be fine with the cell phone completely going away, I think, if you ask them.
How often do you use your cell phone in class and what for?
I use it quite a bit, and it's normally I don't even go on it. I just like check the time, or I'm just like checking the time or seeing who is like notifications.
Not very often. Not many of our classes use cell phones in it, so.
How do you think cell phones will affect your future career?
They're gonna be like used more a lot because nowadays everything revolves around like electricity and your phones and computers and stuff.
I think that they'll get involved in it maybe a little more than what they already are, and most people might just be working from home since they have cell phones. So.
We surveyed the students in our school and found that 53% of students spent 4 to 6 hours on their phone, and only 25% spent less than 4 hours. The top most used app is TikTok, and the second being Snapchat. Overall, students use social media sites the most and said that cell phones were their preferred technology over anything else.
Cell phones are harmful when they are overused. And so while they have many great benefits, kids can explore their identity or research topics that they're interested. When youth overuse cell phones, for example, having lots of notifications turned on or apps on and looking at it all the time, even when we're walking through the hallway, it causes mental fatigue. And the problem with that is our brains need downtime in order to focus and plan and organize information and really to enhance learning. When we are constantly being bombarded with information through our cell phones or social media devices, it creates a cultural ADHD in the brain, and we lose our ability to focus and attend to things that we really need to.
How is our school reducing cell phone distractions?
Well, again, I think most of this comes back to the management of the teacher or in the classroom. Sometimes they can be used as part of the lesson or whatever we're working on that day.
Cell phones can have benefits in the learning environment. For example, teachers could use cell phones to create polls to get students actively engaged in the classroom, like Poll Everywhere or games like Kahoot is a fun way to get kids engaged in learning using cell phones.
Do teachers involve cell phones in their lesson plans?
Some teachers do if it's more efficient for like a Kahoot or something, or checking Google Classroom if your Chromebook's dead.
Do you think phone breaks are necessary?
I don't think they're necessary, they're just nice to have a break. It's kind of like the same idea as recess for little kids.
Recess is incredibly important for adolescent brain development. During adolescence, your brain goes through another surge of creating neural pathways and networks that you need to think efficiently. And what recess does, when you are moving, exercising, using your large motor parts of your brain, it releases dopamine and other important neurotransmitters that regulate stress. And so it calms the body, it calms the parasympathetic nervous system, it increases focus, attention, and working memory, which are all really important parts of learning.
While cell phone breaks seem like a positive solution, many of the students we interviewed said that a break from class was more successful. As Caroline said, when we are overloaded by information, we can become easily distracted. When there is downtime, students can learn to take a break from information by playing a card game or taking a quick recess instead of using their phones, and creating stronger relationships with their peers. Caroline also shared some great strategies to increase your mood and control your mind when phone use becomes compulsive.
So, brain breaks at all levels of development are incredibly important. And there are some really simple activities that teachers can use to help improve mindfulness. And what mindfulness is an awareness on the present moment. And so when we tune our attention to what is going on in the present, we're allowing the brain to focus. And practice mindfulness is using your 5 senses. So tuning into the things you see around you, what you hear around you, what you can smell around you, what you can taste, even in your mouth at the moment, and then things you can touch. And you could think of, we call it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 things you see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Another way is to do box breathing. So like I talked about the deep breathing, you can imagine your breath tracing a box. So you would breathe in for 4 counts, hold your breath for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. And you keep doing that in the shape of a box. All of those intentional ways to calm your body and focus your mind will improve learning and concentration, decrease stress, and improve mood, actually. And it can improve your relationships because you're better able to respond to difficult situations instead of just react.
Thank you, Caroline, for that interview from Loboe News Nation. This is Kinsey signing out.
This is Matthew Christensen with Colton Ness back at Studio 76.
Matthew, do you know where I can get a good haircut here in town?
There are great options for a haircut here in Lemoore, but there's only one place to get that, plus a tan, a massage, and something to drink.
Tanisha Greff and Rissa Rasmussen are reporting on all that pizzazz.
By the way, your hair looks great, Colton.
Thank you.
In this story, we will be showing you what Pizzazz has in store for everyone. This shop is located at 304th North Main, Lemoore, North Dakota. This shop has so much more to offer than it looks. It comes with Herbalife nutritional shakes, teas, snacks, tanning, and so much more.
I have been doing hair for 24 years, and adding on to the business, I just feel the more options you have in one place, the better the business is. I've always liked doing hair, and since I was younger, and it's just a good variety to do different things and see different people.
Haircuts refer to the styling of hair, usually on the human scalp. Sometimes this could also mean an editing of facial or body hair. Less tangles, less flyaways, less breakage, and no split ends equals easy hair management. With all the hair products here at All That Pizzazz, no doubt your hair will be feeling soft and healthy while looking incredible.
I have a full-service hair and spa, coloring, cuts, waxing, facials, massage, nails, pedicures, skincare. We have tanning and a nutrition club with wellness coaching and a fitness center.
Herbalife has a weight loss program for those wanting to lose weight, be healthy, or to be energized throughout the day. Herbalife has been designed for people who want to lose their weight in a faster way to achieve body wellness. Herbalife Nutrition is a global, multi-level marketing corporation that develops and sells dietary supplements.
I like being able to use her products, like go tanning whenever I want and make shakes and teas.
Tanning remains an incredibly popular activity in our society despite the well-known risks. Tanning boosts confidence and is socially desirable. Several health benefits are improved appearance, enhanced mood, and increased vitamin D.
I tan, especially in winter, just about every day. I tan about twice a week.
An aqua massager is a dry hydrotherapy massage system that provides relaxing and therapeutic massage. It has numerous health benefits such as reducing muscle tension and soreness. This massager could also help you with restful sleep, less pain, and possibly better range of motion. Pizzazz isn't all about nutrition and haircuts. It also offers facials, manicures, pedicures, Loboe/workout clothes, and workout sessions.
I'm Kinsey Pedersen along with Sam Furch. Sam, did you know that this year was the first year girls wrestling was sanctioned as a high school sport in North Dakota?
And to think that our very own Karyssa Meidinger placed second overall at the state wrestling tournament?
That's great considering she was only an 8th grader competing against many upperclassmen from across the state.
And even against girls from Class A schools, Mariah Manthe and Kaylee Tingen will tell you more about Karyssa and her impressive accomplishment.
8th grader Karyssa Meidinger competed in the first ever NDHSAA girls wrestling tournament. Karyssa made quick work of her first 2 matches. Then in the semifinals, she competed against a senior and advanced into the championship. Here's an interview with the one and only Karyssa Meidinger.
What weight class were you in?
120.
Was this your first time going to state?
For high school, yeah.
Can you explain how your matches went? How many did you have?
I had 3. My first one, I pinned her really quickly. The second one, I've wrestled her before and I pinned her in second period. I had 4 matches. And then my third match, I haven't beat her before. She's beat me 3 times and we were tied and then I hit a headlock and pinned her. And then my 4th match was for finals and she pinned me in second period.
So what expectations did you have going into the season?
Right away, I just wanted to get top 3 in state, and then as the season went on, I started realizing who I had in state, and it was very unlikely for me to get first, but all of my coaches believed that I could get second, and I did too.
What has been your favorite memory of this season?
Probably the overnight tournament in Central Cass.
How do you feel as one of the first girl wrestlers who's been in the North Dakota State tournament?
I think it's really cool and it's a pretty big history in girls wrestling. So it's pretty cool to be a part of that.
How was it wrestling Class A girls? Was it more difficult?
I think it was a lot more difficult, especially with how much more it seems like they practice than Class B girls.
What would you say to little girls who look up to you for wrestling?
Just dream big, and if you work hard at it, you can be really good.
You got into a state team?
Yeah, so it was for girls 8th through 1st grade, and we go down to Iowa and wrestle for Team North Dakota, and I got first at the tournament, so I'll be heading down to Iowa in April.
Chris had a great season. She took off her 7th grade year, played basketball, decided to come back out for wrestling her 8th grade year after wrestling all through her elementary years. She came to our meeting. I wasn't sure if she was going to come back out again or what she was thinking. Came to our meeting at the beginning of the year and said, "Oh, hey, Karyssa, are you planning on wrestling again?" She said, "Yep, I missed wrestling and really wanted to get back into it." So girls wrestling is finally sanctioned with the High School Activity Association, so kind of a new sport. She's the only girls wrestler on the team, so it was a lot for her to wrestle with a bunch of boys and be the only girl. So I really wasn't sure how that was going to go. practice partners and some things like that. But her teammates all competed with her all through elementary, so I think that really helped everybody accepting her in the room, being comfortable with her. So it was a pretty smooth transition to have Karyssa in the room. Karyssa wrestled a lot of girls throughout the season, but she also filled in on our dual team for our varsity boys team as well, and did a great job for us. Huge part of our team. Really enjoy having Karyssa in the room. Just a hard worker. Gives everything she has every time she goes out and competes. So she's very fun to watch. Karyssa's final record ended up being 28-6, I believe, just competing against girls. The thing I remember most about Karyssa's season is the state tournament. She came in the number 3 seed into the state tournament, and she had to wrestle a senior from Pembina County North that had beaten her 3 times throughout the year, pinned her every time, and was just a tough matchup for Karyssa. And kind of talked into the state tournament about, you know, just having confidence in herself. She was only an 8th grader wrestling a senior. A lot of pressure on that senior to make the state finals, and Karyssa wrestled the best match of her season in the state semifinals. Ended up pinning the girl and qualifying for the state finals in the first ever girls state tournament. So great experience. Just something I'll never forget as a coach, just seeing her reaction after winning that big match. It was a pretty special moment. So it's just a lot of fun to watch Karyssa throughout the year, how much she's improved, and just look forward to seeing as an 8th grader 4 good years of her high school career. So excited to see what she can do in the next 4 years.
From Loboe, Litchfield, Marion, Karyssa Meidinger.
Matt Hebel said Karyssa finished her season with a 28-6 record. Being the only 8th grader, there's no doubt that Karyssa will be back next season with a goal of making it back to the championship match and taking the next step to the top of the podium. Congrats on a great season, Karyssa.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this edition.
Be sure to tune in to Loboe News Nation next time to hear us howl.